Hey fellow humans, I'm feeling like doing some makeup today, and so I decided to test my new foundation. I spent a lot of months doing my makeup without it, and I know that I look better with foundation on. Not that my skin is so bad compared to when I was like 16, but yeah, it's kind of good to unify the color of your skin. And I also always hated that my face is actually a little different color from my neck and the rest of my skin, as my undertone is quite yellowish, and so is my face, but on top of it there's some pink, and yeah, it looks a little different. And I used to use foundation from Manic Panic that was completely white, but I couldn't find it anywhere, and I really loved the got out look, and I didn't even need to smear it all over my neck and my arms because I just used a little bit of it, not as much as on my face, and it kind of did make the uh see if you can hear any noises in the background, that's our new cat. I'm not sure if she's staying. I'd love to keep her, but my partner hasn't decided yet. Anyway, yeah, because we rescued her and it was a sudden thing. Yeah, so I decided to get some foundation that should be at least a little bit close to my undertone like this, and it's very important to me that the cosmetics I use are cruelty-free, but it has to at least seem a lot more legit than when some totally mainstream brands try to convince us that they're not testing on animals, because it's illegal, so how could they be testing on animals? Yeah, but when I see an alternative brand, I kind of think that these are people who are trying a little more to really create something ethical, and I don't really want to be fooled by that. So when there is the option of getting something certified, I go for it. And I'm kind of a broke person. I'm not that rich really, but I don't really buy that many cosmetics products anyway. So when I do, well, to cut things short, I get some foundation from the expensive but cruelty-free, certified, and very natural brand 100% pure. And first I want to try to put on this. I've already used it. This is some kind of different foundation than the one that I bought. But just to test it out for you, because you may be interested in this one. This is the second skin foundation, shade 2. This is probably the number of the shade, right? And I've got two things, so I'm gonna test out two things, right? Before I picked the shade, I tried to find some reviews for the particular one, just so I could see what it looked like on somebody. I didn't really find anything, so just trying to be useful. Okay, this is not very sanitary, so I've already opened this little bag, but I'm just gonna use it up. And now comes the hate upon my person, because I don't have a sponge or anything, but I used to have one, and it actually just absorbed the product instead of blending it on my face, so I don't care that much for it, really. Um, the one that I bought a full bottle of is called the Fruit pigmented water foundation, and I got the yellowish and pale shade, which is warm number 2.0. So I'm gonna put that one on later, the next time I put my makeup on, and then I'm gonna put those videos together somehow. But what I can say about this one, it feels really smooth, and I've already worn it, so I can tell you that I didn't feel it on my skin at all, and that was the biggest turn off from foundation that caused me to even very rarely wear the white one that I actually really loved the look of, but it always felt kind of, I don't know, like a heavy mask, and it's not the case with this one, which is surprising, but maybe it's the natural ingredients. I mean, I'm not against using chemicals in makeup, but if there's a safer alternative like this brand, which I'm never probably gonna buy any lipstick from, because they really have all just boring basic vanilla colors, but with foundation it doesn't really matter, because I can't find a white one anyway, so I may just wear one that is my shade. And this one is a little bit pinker than the one I ordered, so that may be kind of strange, because even this one can be blended to the point that it doesn't really make my face stick out from the rest of my skin. And that feels good. I maybe would have considered buying this one actually. As for the minuses, it's a bit watery. Some of it just made this line of product in my crease. But when I wiped it off, it doesn't do that anymore, so I may have just used too much product. And well, yeah, the flakes of my skin, of my dry skin around the mouth that I always get, those, of course, they're not invisible when you look up close. Sorry for this close up, and it's not even focused, so you don't see it anyway, but when I stand like 2 meters away from the mirror, it doesn't show, and it is all the same color, so on that account, I am satisfied. Also, the wateriness is good if you're not sure about the shade, because you blend it really well. It's not that much about coverage, I guess, but just about putting on one shade all over. Yeah, I think that kind of works. This is revolutionary what they do. But yeah, I'm very satisfied with this one. Just to repeat, it should be the shade 2 with olives, cocoa beans, coffee beans, and all sorts of plants. Sample, not for retail sale, one use time only. This is the third time I'm wearing this, because my face ain't that big and I just wouldn't know where to put the rest. Why don't they make the little bags even littler? Some people probably, yeah, they smear it all over their throat and maybe also above the chest, but I don't know. My point of wearing foundation, now that I can't find any white one anywhere, is really just making my face a shade that's more similar to the rest of my skin. Yeah, it looks good, I like it, and I can tell you it also, as it says on the package, it does prime your skin for the makeup. I have some really shitty eyeshadow that I'm not going to replace until I've used it up, and I still got 4 shades to go, which are black, gray, pale yellow, which I discovered that was actually quite similar to my skin, and that made me realize I had a yellow undertone, because my mother always used to tell me, "You're so good in cold colors, it looks so good on you, good thing that you chopped off all your red dyed hair, because you're a blonde with this Nordic phototype and cold colors and everything." Yeah, but my skin is yellow, which they classify as warm. It's just, I look a little pinker on camera than I do in real life, I realized. Also, I get a little more yellowish in the summer. You see my hand? Yeah, my hand is completely yellow. It's because of the sun, but I looked at my chest, which is not tanned at all, and it also does look just pale yellow, so that's what I am. So, even the shitty eyeshadow palette that cost like probably, I don't really remember the conversion of currencies, but I could say like it was probably 2.5 American dollars. Yeah. So even those shitty eyeshadows really kinda pop on this smooth surface, so that's good, because I had, if this one is also this good, it means that I can actually do stuff with my shitty eyeshadows before I eat them empty and buy new ones. So that's good, because I had my very dear friend try to do some makeup on me with my products, and the eyeshadows are so bad compared to hers that she wasn't used to the structure, and she tried to layer it and she tried to blend it, and it just didn't work, and I ended up looking like shit. Which she knows damn well, so it's not that I'm trash talking her skills, because her skills are amazing. So I'm gonna put some makeup on, and I don't really feel like showing you that, because this is about the foundation, and I'm satisfied with this one, although it's just a sample. So just see you tomorrow or some other day, which you won't even recognize how much time has passed between the videos, with the main product that I'm really looking forward to testing, and I really hope is good, because it costs a lot, okay? So this is an entirely new fruit pigmented water foundation in the palest and warmest tone that they have, which is warm 2.0. And this is what it's gonna look like on my face. Okay, I didn't expect that. So you're not supposed to unscrew it, you just put it on and take it off like this. And now you've got the pump, and you can just take a little bit of it. Okay, that's all I'm gonna use. Because as I said, it's expensive. A little upgrade from last time. I brought a mirror to the window, so I'm not checking myself out in the phone display, and therefore I should be able to blend it better. But I really love the consistency. I mean, it says water foundation, but it's thicker than the previous one, which means it's not all over my hands. Eventually, I think it's gonna have a better coverage, therefore. The shade is great. It is a bit lighter than the spots where I have a tan, but it really is this tone that my face is supposed to be if it wasn't full of those little blood vessels that make me look like a drunk old man. So yeah, I've put on my foundation. I think everything's already been said. And as for this one, it's thicker than the previous one, but I like it. It doesn't have to cover any zits or anything because I don't have any right now. And I mean, my skin is not really good, but still, it's about the color basically, and that's what it does perfectly. I'm really glad that I picked it right. There is no contrast between this and this. This and this, yeah, but that's the sun. So I'm very satisfied and I'm glad that I picked it just by looking at the pictures on the internet, because of course it's gonna be different than in real life. And also I didn't find any videos of anyone trying out this particular one, this shade. So I was just hoping, and I checked myself out in the mirror like 1,000 times, and my arms like 1,000 times, and doing all these like phototype tests, like, am I really yellow colored? Because it didn't make much sense, because I have some purple veins on my wrists, and if you have purple veins, your skin's supposed to be cool toned, but mine's not cool toned. It may be a little bit cooler on the face, but that's the difference that pisses me off between this and that, as I said. But in the end, it's very fair skin with a yellow undertone, just like mine basically, and it looks really good. Since it's not that thin, it didn't crease, and it's not gonna crease anymore because it's drying. And also I think that the dry skin is less visible than with the previous one, and I've checked out the store one more time, and apparently this one is a bit cheaper than the one I got a sample of. So that's funny that actually the cheaper one is better for me. So before I edit this video and put it out, I'll do just one more little video where I've worn it for half a day, and just to check how it sticks to the skin. Hi, this is my makeup today. I've already removed my lipstick so that I could eat my dinner, and also I was going to film this last video at 8, but suddenly and spontaneously we've got a friend over and I don't want to do any video since editing and anything actually while he's here, so I'm just going to show you right now what it's doing. So I went out and I've got some sweat on my forehead, and that's also where I can really feel the foundation on my skin, but on the rest of the face it's okay. So I think it's passed this test. When it comes to, I don't know, like here are my pores, and yeah, they show a bit more. I mean, yeah, my camera is not that good, but trust me, you'd rather get caught with porn in your office than my close-up skin. So I'm just gonna describe it. So my pores show a bit more than when it was freshly applied, and so does my dry skin, but still you'd have to come really close to see anything, and it's really light. I don't feel it except for the sweaty forehead, so that makes sense. And of course my forehead's gonna be sweaty because I spent 2 years in denial before I realized that I really am a bangs girl, and cut it again, and then I've got this layer of hair and it's hot outside, so of course I'm gonna be sweaty, that's okay. And I did blow my nose several times. It doesn't really show, so it did smudge, but it's not that noticeable, because when I had that manic panic one, it may have been because of the shade, but also I guess just its consistency. Basically, once I wiped my nose, it was a significant difference between the white and the pink, which here is not. It's about the color, but maybe also about the formula of the foundation. And so the final rating of those two, the one in the sample, the second skin one, I guess I would rate about 4.3 out of 5. And this one, the fruit pigmented that I have a bottle of, I'd say 4.5. I mean, they're great. They're the highest quality piece of cosmetics that I have ever had, actually. But I'm not gonna say about anything that is perfect, obviously. But I have to rate it very high. And I did find some minor flaws, which are the ones described, but I'm still very excited about this, and I'm glad that I spent the money, although I'm probably gonna have to eat water and drink air for the next 2 weeks. No, I'm kidding, of course. So we're gonna say bye. See you in the next video.